to do this question, you're required to answer either true or false on the following different questions. Now, in order to do these, it's a mixture of different signs. So if I've got subtraction, brackets, and multiplication, that's going to be using a word called BIDMAS. So to do BIDMAS, or to answer a question correctly using BIDMAS, I need to write down, I like to write down vertically down the page. And I can see that I've got subtraction, I can see that I've got brackets, I can see that I've got adding, and I can see I've got multiplying. So what BIDMAS requires me to do is the letter that I've highlighted the highest needs to be done first. So that 23 minus needs to stay there, that times 3 needs to stay there. And I need to go and work out what's in the brackets first, which is 4 add 2. So that's 6. So I've dealt with the brackets, I've also dealt with the adding. Now I've only got subtraction and multiplication left, so now I need to do 23 take away. So that must stay in front of the 6 times 3 because it comes first. So 23 take away 18 is 5. That's true, so I can circle true. Now the next question, they're trying to basically just check that you understand how fractions, adding fractions works. Now to do 7/10 add 2/5, they're looking at that and it looks like the right answer. 7 add 2 is 9, 5 add 10 is 15. However, to add fractions, you must have the same denominator. So where I've got 9 over 10, I can't write 2 over 5 because the denominators aren't the same. So what I need to do is I need to double the top and the bottom to get an equivalent fraction, which will then have the same denominator as the first. So doubling the 5 gives me 10, but I now need to double the 2. So that's going to give me 4. So that answer would be 13, and the denominator would stay the same. So 13 over 10, which is then false because it's not 9 over 15. Next, we're asked that a half of an eighth is a quarter, true or false. Now, if I'm saying of, that means I'm multiplying those two things together. And when multiplying fractions, we multiply the top numbers together and the bottom numbers together. So the answer should be 1/16. That's false then, it's not 1/4. We're then asked that 25% of 0.4 is 0.1. Now, if I'm to look at 0.4 as like maybe a bar, and this is 0.4 here, to chop it then into 25%, initially chop it into 50%, so in halves, and then in halves again to get 25%, you can see that each bit of that bar would be 0.1, so 25% is indeed equal to 0.1. And then finally there's another BIDMAS question here, so I'll write a new BIDMAS down the page. So BIDMAS again. What can I see here? I can see subtraction, I can see multiplication, and I can see addition. So I have to do the multiplication bit first, so I'll have to do 28 minus, must stay there. The plus 5 must also stay there, but I'll work out what is 3 times by 2, which is 6. Now, when it comes down to adding and subtracting, they are what we call the inverses of each other. So if these are the same things, then we just solve like we're reading a book, going from left to right. So we're going to do 28 take away 6, which is 22, and then we will add 5 to get 27, so that is false.